Dust Valley was a town like no other, nestled between rugged hills and vast arid plains. It was a haven of peace in a lawless land. The townsfolk were kind-hearted, law-abiding citizens who lived in harmony, respecting each other and upholding justice. Their lives were simple but happy, untouched by the dark deeds of the outside world, until the day Cain and his gang rode into town. Cain, a ruthless outlaw with a heart as cold as steel, was infamous for his brutality. His dark eyes glinted with malevolence, and a cruel scar ran down his face, a testament to his violent past. Leading a band of cutthroats, Cain's iron grip on Dust Valley was absolute. He extorted money from the townsfolk, threatened their families, and brutally punished anyone who dared defy him. Fear was his weapon, and he wielded it masterfully. The sheriff and the judge, symbols of justice, were rendered powerless under Cain's reign. They lived in constant fear, aware that any attempt to stand against him would result in their immediate and painful demise. Cain's men roamed the streets, their mere presence a reminder of the ever-present danger. The townspeople whispered in hushed tones, their lives overshadowed by the threat of violence. Among his many victims was Clara, a beautiful woman known for her kindness and gentle spirit. Cain had his eyes set on her, demanding she become his bride. Clara steadfastly refused, enduring his harassment with courage and dignity. Cain's obsession with her grew, and he made her life a living nightmare, hoping to break her spirit. One evening, Clara, desperate and seeking solace, ventured out of town. She wandered through the desolate plains, her heart heavy with sorrow. As the sun set and the sky darkened, Clara knelt by a solitary tree, tears streaming down her face. She pleaded with whatever higher power that would listen to send someone, anyone, who could save her town from Cain's tyranny. Just as the first stars appeared in the night sky, Clara heard a faint groan. She turned to find a mysterious stranger lying unconscious near the tree, bruised and battered. Compassionate as ever, Clara's heart went out to him. She knelt beside him, carefully inspecting his wounds. The man, who later introduced himself as Jack, was rough around the edges, but had a heart of gold. As Jack lay in bed one night, still recovering from his wounds, he overheard Clara and her family discussing Cain and his men. The room was thick with the palpable fear in their voices, and Jack, with his heightened senses, could hear the rapid beat of their anxious hearts. They spoke of Cain's cruelty and the torment he had inflicted upon the town. Clara's family suggested a drastic measure, that she marry Cain in hopes he might show mercy towards the townspeople. Clara's refusal was immediate and resolute, her voice firm despite the desperation in her tone. This troubled Jack deeply. He was developing strong feelings for Clara and had never encountered a woman so selflessly kind and compassionate. As the days passed, Jack's strength returned, along with his resolve to confront Cain and his gang. His determination grew stronger with each passing day, driven by the desire to free Clara, her family, and the entire town from the grip of fear and oppression. Yet, despite his growing commitment to their cause, Jack harbored a dark secret. He was a vampire. Centuries old, Jack had roamed the earth, seeking redemption for his past sins and grappling with the burden of his eternal existence. To regain his strength, Jack would feed on wild animals and criminals in the next town. This was unknown to Clara and her family, though they noticed Jack sometimes disappeared in the night and didn't return until morning. Clara, concerned and curious, confronted Jack one night after he returned. She noticed he reeked of blood and dead flesh. "Jack, where do you go in the middle of the night? Why do you come back like this?" Clara asked, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and concern. Jack sighed, knowing the time had come to reveal his true nature. "Clara, there's something you need to know about me. I am a vampire." Clara gasped, stepping back, her eyes wide with shock. "A vampire? But how?" Jack's face darkened as he recalled his past. "I was attacked by a mysterious man back in my hometown hundreds of miles away. He turned me against my will and made me his slave, forcing me to kill and to evoke fear into nearby towns that he wanted to rule. I hated what I became, but I had no choice. My master was cruel and powerful, and I was bound to his will. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to run away, to escape his vicious rule, but he found me and attacked me brutally. I fought back with everything I had and managed to escape, but not without scars and near death. I believe my master, Corbin, is still alive and may be looking for me." Clara listened, her heart aching for Jack. Despite the horror of his revelation, she saw the torment and regret in his eyes. "I don't care what you are, Jack. You've shown me nothing but kindness and courage. We'll face whatever comes together." The inevitable showdown came when Jack sought out Cain and his gang outside of town. Under the cover of darkness, Jack ambushed them using his supernatural speed and strength to overpower Cain's men. The fight was brutal but swift, with Jack emerging victorious. Battered and defeated, Cain was warned to leave the town and never return. Humiliated, Cain swore vengeance and rode off into the night, determined to regain his strength and power. As Cain wandered the desolate plains, nursing his wounds, he was approached by a figure cloaked in darkness. It was Corbin, an ancient and powerful vampire, even older and more formidable than Jack. With an air of regal menace, Corbin offered Cain a deal: the gift of vampirism in exchange for his eternal loyalty and service. Desperate for revenge, Cain accepted without hesitation. As the transformation took hold, Cain felt a surge of power unlike anything he had ever known. With his newfound abilities, Cain returned to Dust Valley under the cover of night. He and his remaining men, now turned into vampires, launched a brutal assault on the town. Sensing the impending danger, Jack prepared for the ultimate confrontation. The townsfolk, unaware of Jack's true nature, watched in horror as the battle unfolded. Jack, with years of battle experience over each of his enemies, was able to overpower Cain's men, but not without a challenge, as each of them wanted to enjoy their newfound life of being vampires, and they weren't planning on letting Jack spoil that for them. Nevertheless, Jack was able to defeat Cain's men. There was only Cain left, and Cain marveled at the opportunity to fight Jack again, this time with an even playing field, as he could now match Jack's power. Clara and her family looked on in fear, but Clara wanted to find a way to help Jack the best she could. Jack pleaded with her to stay inside and to let him handle Cain. Clara reluctantly complied, The moon hung high, casting an eerie glow over the town. Jack and Cain faced each other, the air thick with tension. Cain reveled in his newfound strength, attacking with savage fury. But Jack's centuries of experience and determination gave him the upper hand. As the fight drew to a close, Jack managed to overpower Cain, delivering a final, decisive blow. With Cain defeated and his gang vanquished, peace returned to Dust Valley. The townsfolk initially feared Jack. Having witnessed his terrifying abilities, Jack swore to protect them and never cause harm. Slowly, they began to accept him. Having witnessed Jack's true nature, they embraced him, accepting him for who he was. Jack and Clara continued to nurture their growing love, grateful for the chance to be together. Dust Valley, once again a beacon of peace, remained a testament to the courage and resilience of its people and the unlikely hero who came from the shadows to save them. In recognition of his bravery and dedication, the townsfolk named Jack their new sheriff, a vampire sheriff. Imagine that. In a distant dark castle, Corbin received word of Cain's demise. With a cold, menacing smile, he vowed to continue the wrath that Cain had started. Jack may have won this battle, but I will put an end to him once and for all. Revenge will be mine, to be continued. If you like this video and want to stay tuned for the sequel of this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Sir Fables.